how are you all, and how's your preparation is going on? Hope you are doing well and your preparation is also going on well. So in previous class we have discussed a new topic, that theory of supply, in which we have discussed about the meaning of supply and the types of supply, and also we have discussed about the determinants, or you can say the factors which actually affects the supply, how the supply can be possible to be increased, how can be possible to be decreased, what are some basic factors which actually influence the supply for increasing or the decreasing. So these are some points that we have discussed in our previous class. So let me confirm just if I'm audible and visible to everybody or not. Just let me confirm that am I audible and visible to everyone? Is there any problem that you are facing in regards of voice or any video problem? Just tell me, am I audible and visible to everybody? So hope so. Your preparation is going on well, and something that we in this class, if you talk about what the topics that we are going to discuss in this class. So in this class we'll discuss about some parts of supply, or you can say some shift in supply, movement in supply, and also we'll discuss about the theory of supply. It means what definition of supply, and some factors that we have discussed in our previous class. We'll revise that factors also, so that after the further topics that we are going to discuss, that must much be clear. Because some students, I just able to say that some students are new in this class. So if you didn't watch the previous class one, just go and watch that session, so that only possible that you can understand this class, right? So should I start this class? Okay. So if you talk about the supply, theory of supply, as we have discussed, we have discussed the meaning of supply, we have discussed types of supply, and the third one is factors affecting supply, that we have discussed. So what are those factors? Actually we have discussed that price of commodity, price of commodity, price of related goods, future expectation, right? Government policy, that we have discussed, and also we have discussed change in the technology, changing of technology. So, and also some basic points also, like the population of a country, or you can say number of supplier, right? So these are some points that we have understood in our previous class, that these are some factors which actually affects the supply, by which the supply may be possible to be increased or may be possible to be decreased, right? So now we are going to discuss that what actually meaning of theory of supply, meaning of theory of supply, theory of supply, what exact it means. So theory of supply doesn't mean just it means, basically we can write other things remaining constant. There is a positive relation or direct relation between price and quantity supplied. It means what? We need to understand one thing here. Here there is a positive relation between price and quantity supplied. So whatever the things you are going to supply, there is a positive relation. It means what? If the price increases, so if it means what does it, what this statement is states, it means what? When price increases, supply also increases. When price decreases, supply also decreases. So a question comes into your mind that sir, why it is this is showing that when price increases, supply also increases? Why this is showing price decreases, supply decreases? Just opposite to the law of demand. This is all okay. Here we can write law of supply. Right. So what we need to understand that why actually it happening that the price is increasing and supply is also increasing. So this actually happening just because, I have just taken an example. Let's say if this is a marker and you are a producer of this marker, you are a seller of this marker, and if I ask to you the price of this marker right now, it is the market price of this marker rupees 10 rupees, and at the price of rupees 10 you are selling the lot of quantity, right? But due to some reason, we are not going to just discuss about that reasons, but actually I am asking that due to some reasons the price of this marker rises. So please answer me, is it any possibility that you are stop supplying the quantity of marker? Or if I ask to you, is it any possibility that you will supply less quantity of this marker, or you will supply more of this quantity of marker? Just answer me. If the price rises of this marker, you will supply more or less? Just think as a role of producer. If you are a producer, so sir, we create more demanded of that commodity. I am not asking about that demanded. I am just asking to you, just to play a role as you are a producer. So your answer will be what? You will supply more that of this commodity. Why? Because if earlier you are just getting 10 rupees per unit of this marker, and now you are getting 15 rupees, because I already told you that price rises 10 from to 15, right? Now if the price of this marker is 15, so definitely you will supplied more of this quantity of this supply. Why? Because now you are getting more profit, you are getting more revenue comparatively earlier. So that is why you will supply more. So that is why here we can say, if price rises, supply also rises, right? Now if the price decreases, let's say right now the price of this marker rupees 10, and now right now in present the prices of marker increased to at rupees 18. So it means the price of marker, no sorry, not 18, already we have discussed the criteria of increasing. Now the price of marker this decreases to rupees 7. It means the price of marker decreased to rupees by 3. Now I ask to you, if you are a producer and you are selling this marker, or you are producing this marker, I ask to you, will you sell it more in the market or less in the market? If after the decreasing of price of this marker? Just tell me. Will you sell it more in the market, quantity, more quantity in the market, or less quantity in the market? So definitely your answer will be what, sir? I will provide less quantity in the market, because if we compare to the earlier situation, we will get lesser amount, lesser revenue, lesser profit comparatively previously, right? So you will get less amount because of decreasing in price, so that you will not supply more of quantity after the decreasing of price. That is why the situation arises, after the decreasing of price your supply will be also decreased. Am I clear to everyone or not? So this is a what, this is what the law of supply, this is what it is, a law of supply. This is what law of supply, this is what law of supply. Other thing remaining constant, there is no change in any single thing. As I have already mentioned here, other thing must be remaining constant. There must not be change any other factors, or the other price of related goods, change in the technology, population changes, everything is constant. Just hello, hello, now am I audible? Am I audible right now? Just tell me right now, am I audible? Now I just told you one thing, we are showing this capital, we are showing this supply curve in terms of S. Now we can say what is what this curve is showing, it is upward sloping or it is downward sloping. If we talk about the demand, it was how it was like this. It means what, I have made that curve, right, demand curve I have made from top to the bottom. It means what, it is downward sloping, it is downward sloping. That was demand curve. But here we are discussing the supply curve, and it is from here to here, here to hello, hello. Hello, hello. Now am I audible? Just let me confirm if I'm audible and visible to properly to you all. Hmm? Okay. I hope am I audible to everyone. So what I have just discussed with you all, that if the price rises, so what I have discussed with you all, if the price rises, you have seen that your quantity supplied will also be increased. It means the quantity of supply in the market will also be increased, because as only you are getting more profit, or you can say producer is getting more profit comparatively to the earlier, right? So if the price increases, your quantity supplied will also increase. That is why you are getting the upward sloping curve of the supply curve, right? Is there any doubt you are getting? Any doubt? Just let me confirm if there is any doubt you are getting. Is there any doubt? Okay, let's try to understand another things, another topic. Now we have already discussed about the factors affecting the supply. Now we will discuss about the change in supply, right? Change in supply, change in supply curve, change in supply curve. We'll discuss about the change in supply curve. So what do you mean to say this change in supply curve? So there is two types. Actually, we discussed this problem. There is two types of how supply curve is changes. So the first one and the second one. First one is what? There is a movement. There is only a movement in supply curve. There is a movement in supply curve. And the second one is what? There is a shift in supply curve. Shift in supply curve. So if there will be movement in supply curve, what you will get, and if there is a shift in supply curve, what you will get. So if you talk about the movement in supply curve, there is a two situations arises. First one is what? Extension in supply curve. Extension in supply curve. Extension in supply curve. And the second one is what? Contraction in supply curve. Contraction in supply curve. Right? Contraction in supply curve. And if you talk about, so what you will get in the shift in supply curve, so you will get two types. The first one is what? Increase in supply curve. Increase in supply curve, right? And the second one you will get decrease in supply curve. Supply curve. It means what? You will get this situation. So these all situations you are getting in terms of change in supply curve. Clear? So if we talk about that, what the situation you are getting and why you are getting this situation, movement in supply curve, why this situation arises, movement in movement in supply curve. So first of all, we need to understand movement in supply curve. So if we talk about here two situation arises, as I have already told you. If there is a movement in supply curve, so always you need to remember there is only a single factor that actually affects the movement. Again, I am telling you what, there is only a single factor which actually affects the supply curve, affects the supply movement in supply curve. If I just talk about you, why actually this matters to you, if I just told you there, if there is a type of movement, so we can say there is only a single factor which actually affects the movement in supply curve. This is what extension or contraction in supply curve. Never supply curve will shift towards to the rightward or the leftward. There is only a movement along the curve, while it will go forward or it will go backward. There is only a reason due to which, there is only a single reason, that is price, due to which the curve along changes with the either it will go forward, either it will go backward. If it is going to the far forward, that we define it is the extension in supply curve, and if it is going to the backward movement along to the curve with the backward, so we define that it is a contraction in supply curve. So everything will be constant, all the factors will be constant, just only single factor will be changed, that is price. So after just changing in the price, so we can write here movement in supply curve just due to, we can write here due to change in price only there will be change in price, not anything else. So if there is only change in the price, we will get two situations. The first one is what, the extension is first of what, extension in supply curve, extension in supply curve, extension in supply curve. So what we will get in the extension in supply curve, you will get what, let's say this is a curve and this is a supply curve, and I am writing here this is A to B, this is a supply curve. Now due to change in price, right, change in price means what, if I let's say if the price increases, so I have already told you all that the law, what the law of supply explains, law of supply always explains what, the due to the increase in price there will be increase in the supply quantity supplied also. So we can say if the price rises, quantity supplied will also rise. It means what, let's say I just take a situation, quantity supplied rises, so what, if price rises, quantity supplied will also rise. Let's say this amount of quantity supplied you have the quantity supplied rises from B to C, from B to C. So the amount of this quantity that you have supplied more, the amount of this quantity you have supplied more, just because of rise in the price, just because of, here I am just writing, just because of you are getting this increase in the quantity of supply, you are just getting because of due to change in price, or you can say rise in price, not changes, there is a rise in price, and this situation is known as what, extension of supply, extension of supply. This situation explains what, extension in supply. this situation actually explains, right? Am I clear to everyone? Good morning to everyone. Am I clear to everybody? Is there any doubt you are getting? Just let me know if you are getting any doubt. So this is what the extension in supply curve. Why actually extension in supply curve arises? Just because of rise in the price. So I just want to explain one thing. Here you can say the curve is just going forward or just going backward. This here is not, I didn't make any new curve, or you can say the shift, another shift of curve, or another backward shift of curve. I didn't make any new curve. I have just symbolizes that curve is just rising, curve is just expanding towards to forward, right? So the next situation you are getting that what, here if I just make curve, let's say this is x-axis, this is 0, this is y-axis, and again I am just making supply curve. Let's say this is a supply curve, and I have just marked this supply curve. Let's say this is A, this is B, right? This is A. I think you are not able to see because of same writing. Let's say this is A, this is B. Now if I am just telling you, if there is a decrease in the price of commodity, if there is a decrease in the price of commodity, so due to law of supply, because of law of supply, what you will see, what you are able to see, if there is a decrease in price, the quantity supplied will also be decreased. Quantity supplied will also be decreased, right? Quantity supplied will also be decreased, like no. So whatever the amount you are getting right now, whatever the amount you are supplying right now, this is what called B to C. If this curve you are getting B to C, so this time just due to decrease in price, and the this situation only from this to this, only this situation arises just due to decrease in price, and this situation is known as contraction in supply. This situation is known as contraction in supply curve, right? The curve is not changing from here and there, it is not shifting towards to or any backward, just it is changing along the curve. So this is, you can able to see, this is what you can able to see, that what this is changing along the curve, right? Sometimes it goes backward, sometimes it goes forward. So if it goes forward, that we called as expansion in supply curve, and if goes backward, this is called contraction in supply curve. Any issue you are facing? Tell me if any issue you are facing, just let me know. Clear now? So this is what the movement of supply curve. Now we need to discuss about the shift in supply curve. Shift in supply curve. Shift in supply curve, right? So in this part we have discussed only there must be change in only in price, not any other factors. Okay, so in this situation, in movement in supply curve, only I have just told you we need to change in the price factor, not any other factor. Then only movement in supply curve will arise. But if we talk about the shift in supply curve, there must be change in there must be constant of price factor and must be change in other factors. It means what? In this situation, price must be constant. Price must be constant. Changes only other factors. Other factors. It means what you need to understand. There must be constant in the price. In that situation, there must be constant in other factor. Here there is change in the factor, other factor, and the price must be constant. Okay? So that you will get the shift in supply curve. So let's say first of all let's say this is supply curve. Let's say this is x-axis, this is origin, this is y-axis. Now this is supply curve S. We have named this supply curve S. Now due to change in other factor like climatic change or any population change, or you can say if any factor is changing, so what you will able to see that there will be change in the supply also, there will be change in the quantity supplied also. Right? Now let's say if there is a rise in the price of related good. No, okay. If there is a let's say future expectation. If the producer is expecting that the price of price of quantity or price of this marker will be decreased in future, if the producer is expecting that in future the price of this marker will be decreased, so it means what the situation, what the producer will do, he will try to do one thing, that if the price of this marker will be reduced, will be decreased in future, so it means I will get the less revenue, less profit. So why should I do one thing right now? Why should I sell this marker at present point of time if it is selling more prices at this point of time? So he will think what? He will increases the supply of marker in present and decreases the supply of marker in future if it decreases the price of this marker. So it means what? The supply will be increased right now because the producer is expecting that the price of this marker will be decreased in future, so he will increase the supply right now. So this situation will arise and new supply curve will be made forward. New supply curve will be made forward. So this curve will be what? Like S1. So this is just done because of changes in due to the situation will arise due to changes in other factor, or we can say future expectation. Future expectation. Now, what does situation? What is the name of this situation? This is what? Increase in supply curve. This is what means increase in supply. What is the name? What is the name of this situation? This is what? Increase in supply. It means what? There is a shiftness of forward in supply curve. सर इस कंडीशन में लॉस होगा या प्रॉफिट? डेफिनेटली ही इज एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट इन टर्म्स ऑफ द थिंकिंग ऑफ द प्रोड्यूसर, ही इज एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट कि उसको लग रहा है कि प्राइस बड़ा ऐसा घट सकता है। ऑब्वियस बात है, उसको ऐसा लग रहा है प्राइस घट सकता है तो वो कोशिश करेगा कि वो अभी सेल कर दे, है कि नहीं? he will try to think that why should I not to sell this quantity right now if the price of this market will be decreased in future. So he will sell more at this point of time, so he will get more profit. So in this situation will rises the profit of the firm, profit of that producer. So we can say this situation will be profitize the market, profitize the producer, right? Now if there is a decrease in situation, now the next situation you are getting, if let's say this is a supply curve, this is x-axis, this is origin, this is y-axis. Now if the supply curve, let's say the base of supply curve like this, and this is what S1, S, this is what S. In future there is a profit, we cannot apply this, or you will not say surely that it will be profit in future, because he is just expecting, there is not any surety. If he is sure that definitely it will be a decrease, then we can say the producer will be in loss or profit. But he is just expecting, and we never say that expectation is always just be right. Right? It means increase in supply then profit, and decrease in supply then loss. Oh, there doesn't mean the increase or decrease in supply. There must be change in the price. There must be change in the price. If there will be, just he is expecting that the price of this marker will be reduced, will be decreased. I am asked to you. Just let me just tell you an example. If Shashiwala, if I ask to you, let's say this is a marker and you are a seller of this marker. Now at this point of time, right now, the price of this marker at rupees 10, the price of this marker at rupees 10, you are supplying 1000 units in a market, Now if any situation you are expecting that in future the price of this marker will be decreases, you are just expecting that due to some reason you are expecting that price of the marker will be decreased in future. So I am asking to you, what you will see? You will see what you will do right now. You will supply more of quantity at this point of time. Why you will wait for the future? You are expecting that the price of this marker will be reduced. So what you will do? You will supply more at this point of time. You will supply more at this present situation. So supply will be increased or decreased? Tell me. So your answer will be what? So supply will be increased. Okay. So now comes to your question. If you are asking that, sir, will I get more profit comparative to the future or less profit? We cannot specify that you will get more profit or less profit. If you are expecting the price will be decreased, so we can define that you are getting more profit at this point of time. If there is any insecurity of your surety, because future is uncertain. If there will be decrease, if there will be increase in the price of this market in future, so what you will get? You will be in loss. You will be in loss because you have already sold that much of quantity in earlier. So this is the situation, this is a concept. It means now we can say there is future is uncertain. If there will be definitely decrease in the price, so you are getting profit. If there will be increase in the price, then you are getting a loss, because just you have expected. Now am I clear or not? Shashibala, just tell me, am I clear to you or not, or should I take any other examples? Clear or not? Just tell me. Now I am just telling that there is a let's say there is a, again I am taking the same example, that future expectation. You are asking that the price will be increased in the future. Now I'm again taking a same example with the same concept, that if there will be increase in the price, you are expecting that there will be increase in the price of this marker. So what you will do right now, you will sell more, you will sell less of quantity at this point of time right now, and you will be waiting for the future, the price, if there will be increase in the price, then you will sell more in the quantity in the future. Right now, right? So we can say right now your supply, if you are expecting that your price will be increased in the future, so you will not supply more at this point of time, so your supply will be decreased, your supply will be decreased. So it shifted towards the backward area, it shift to the backwards. That name is S1. S1. So why this situation arises? So we can write here, this situation arises just due to future expectation, and you can write this, the situation of this name is decrease in supply, decrease in supply curve, right? The situation is known as decrease in supply curve. So that these concepts that we have discussed in this session, some first of all we have revised that what we have discussed in our previous class, then we discussed the law of supply, then we discussed the curve of supply, then we have discussed the change in supply and what does it mean, and again the law of meaning movement in supply curve, why it actually move, why there is a movement in supply, and what the situation you are arising due to movement in supply curve. And then we have discussed in the future shift in supply, where there is an increase in the two situation arises, the increase in supply curve and the decrease in supply curve. So these all concepts that we have discussed in this class. So let me confirm if I am clear to you all with the whole concept that I have discussed with you all. Just tell me, am I clear to everyone? Yes, we have done this all concept in this class. Whatever I am just telling you, we have, okay, these concepts that we have did in previous class, but from this slide, from second number slide, we have discussed these concepts. Have you got my point? Have you enjoyed this class? If you really enjoyed this class and you understood each and every topic in a clear manner, so just don't forget to comment and like and share this session with those students who are preparing for any one-day exam or any SSC exam, any of the exam except UPPSC, because these concepts are not much deeply as compared to if you are just compare the exam like UPPSC, right? But definitely it will be comparatively with the PCS or PSC exams, right? So hope so I have just cleared all the concepts with you all in a clear manner. and you enjoyed this session. We'll meet in next session, and we'll do some extra topics. We'll do some those questions which have been already asked in your previous examinations, that we will also discuss. And now the last situation will arise, that we will discuss about the elasticity of supply, as we have discussed after the theory of demand, that is elasticity of demand, right? Definitely it will be benefited in your state exams. Definitely it will be benefited. Okay, so let's meet in another class. Thank you so much, you all. We'll do in next class, Shibala. First of all, we'll need to complete all the topics related to this theory of supply, then we do the questions. As you have already seen that we have completed the theory of demand, law of demand, elasticity of demand. Then we did a lot of questions that has been already asked in SSC examination, either it is MTS, CHSL, CPO, CGL. All the questions that have already come, that have already came in your examination, that we have already discussed, but after the completion of chapter, na. Okay, so thank you so much, you all, and don't forget to comment your suggestion in your comment box after the ending of this class. Thank you so much, you all, cooperating with me. Let's meet in another class. Thank you so much. Take care. Jai Hind.